Hello, and welcome back to Therapist Plays Fran Bow. All right, we are back in the little house in the scary well, and things are starting to get very strange. More strange than before. Because as we noticed at the end of the last episode, this is like the real world, with Fran not on the effects of duotine, but it is the more fantastical one now. Whereas literally we are just in a well, but we only see that when we're on duotine. So my thoughts about this is that it's a brilliant way to demonstrate the estrangement from sobriety that people who struggle with addiction start to feel. Fran escaped the hospital on the effects of duotine with the help of duotine. As a gameplay feature, I think it's like quite clever how at the beginning of the game you are told taking duotine shows you like this other place that you can navigate, and that's tied to like Fran's mental state maybe, but now it seems less and less relevant to like what's real, what's not. It just happens to be another plane that we can visit and explore, which of course blurs the lines of, is there any real benefit to this anymore? Whereas before it gave us like a different kind of perception. So it's brilliant. Now, we find ourselves in a house, in a well, and we've got some new areas to explore. So let's take a look around. There's a little letter here that says, "Welcome home, beautiful kitten. We hope you like your new bed. Be nice and eat your food. Love, Clara and Mia." Okay, so we are being treated like a cat. We had some sort of cat's hat on at the end of the last episode. And it looks like we've been given some prime cut here, which if we were a cat, I'm sure we'd be quite pleased with. Although I don't know how much Fran really wants it. Maybe if they laced it with some duotine. Oh my god, it's so fucked up. Okay, where else are we? We got some bottles and grains. It's fun to see what people have in their homes, I agree. Let me see. Bottles, a milk jar, and dry flowers. Huh, nothing of interest. Nothing of interest to a cat, nothing of interest to Fran. Oh, that's of interest, though. I'll keep this to cook a lovely dish for my kitty. Okay. A cauldron to make yummy soup. I don't suppose we could combine it with any of those things. Are those eyes? Ugh. Maybe they like to see things, so they need more eyes. I have my pills. They make me see a lot of weird things. But you're not on them right now, Fran. A head. From a human, I guess. Skulls always look so happy. Maybe they haven't realized that they're dead yet. That thought seemed to scare her a little bit. That's funny. Okay, I don't assume we can go out the window. I close the window so the cold wind stays out. I open the window so the cold wind comes in. Okay. A painting of a teapot with painted tea inside. With lemon and honey. No matter where she goes, though, her imagination is always alive. A cooker for cooking. My mommy told me how to use this. I don't like to light matches, though. It always feels like it could burn my entire face. I won't lay down in that thing. I should try to get out of here instead. With my kitty, of course. Not by myself. Of course, Fran. I don't go anywhere without my kitty as well. Why is this part painted black and white? Maybe they didn't have enough to paint everything. I guess everyone has different styles and tastes, which is very understanding. Firewood to keep the chimney warm. Poor trees. I wonder if they scream all the time while they're burning. Yes, Fran, I wonder if that beetle pig was screaming at all when you chopped it in half. Yeah, last episode I also said at the beginning that I was very impressed by Fran not sort of compromising on her own sense of morals to achieve her own aims, but, well, that's not true anymore. Got an assortment of things. Let's take a look at that sharp one. Ooh, a Sharpie shiny knife. You might be useful. I don't know if you should have that, actually. A spatula. That sounds like Dracula, but in a spa. Yes, it does. To dry my little hands. I don't have any soup. I don't need a spoon. A pine cone. I don't dare touch it. Maybe it will attack me. Yeah, where would you have learned that, Fran? Which he's not seeing the connection that It's not going to attack you unless you knock over its child. King Leo's baking soda. This always made the biggest cupcakes. Okay. Gathering up some ingredients here. Flour makes me sneeze, but that's a funny feeling. Honey bear. You taste fabulous. Mmm, yummy. Cookies in all flavors and colors. Okay, so we've got some stuff. And who are these people? Mr. Midnight. Those girls. They took my kitty. I don't like to be selfish, but that is my kitten. I like their blue dress, though. Oh my god, she is actually so funny. It kind of reminds me of The Shining. I'm sure that's what it's going for. Okay, let's take a look at the actual... well, the actual place that we're in, the well. It looks like maybe we can climb out if we really need to. Is that what this is? Can't get there from here. I need a bridge. Okay. Maybe later we climb out. Oh, okay. You seem fresh. Fran, that is not the word to use here. You're a clever little baby. You took your placenta with you. God. The placenta is like a jetpack of blood and nutrients. Duotine world no less disturbing. Oh, I see you're very comfortable there, little baby. Did your mommy drop you? I bet she did it because she was sick. That's not your fault. Is the implication that these... little baby, what are you doing here? We're kids, like, from the asylum? Literally just thrown in the well. Nobody loves you, but you're so pretty. I like you. At least you're on the wall, like a picture, so everyone can see you. Oh, Fran. We need to get you somewhere safe. This is not good. Okay, let's take a look around the house. More ingredients. More stuff. Squirrel's body parts. I don't want to know. Kitty likes to play with olives. I guess he thinks they're insects. If there's garlic, there are no vampires. Pepper. Always good for seasoning the soup. So, like, the fact that she's picking up specific things, she's got a plan in mind. She wants to make a soup, I guess. I won't take somebody else's food. Not all of it, anyways. What a pretty can. I wonder whose mush this is. Because he owns all the mushrooms. Oh. What an odd little thing. Looks like a seed. It smells like a weed we had in our garden. Salt. Don't like beans. Okay, and some sort of bag. Alright. Do we have enough stuff to put in our pot? Can we combine any of these things? Okay, maybe not yet. This doesn't bring me any good memories. Yeah, it shouldn't. I don't like that they have cuts of meat up on the walls. Very unpleasant. I have matches to light up the darkness. Or just for fun. Yes, let's add playing with fire to Fran's list of entertainment activities. This window's locked. Great. Okay. This looks like a plant. A dancing teddy. It doesn't have shoes. But it does have a tie. That makes Teddy happy. Oh, a dancing teddy. It looks injured or something. They don't smell. They must be plastic flowers then. Okay. Is this like another part of the well? Because the well is like just a well. It's not like a whole sewer system. So as we like go around, is it just going to continue to be in the same spot? That is so bizarre. Usually when we've traversed these spaces, we move somewhere also in Duotine world. But here there's so many rooms. Okay, this is getting weirder and weirder. A tiny house in the middle of nowhere. Walk on the beach wouldn't take too long. Looks like somebody lives there. They have a chimney. Which, yeah, it's fascinating. Like, for a child, she has pretty good deduction skills. She notices stuff like that. Oh, there's a chimney. There must be someone living there. Like, it's simple, but she is a kid. But then she's, like, totally disconnected from sort of the reality of what she's seeing here, which is of concern, because if she's not able to translate the cause and effect of like those kids in the well, this may be part of why she's not making a connection between like, I chopped that creature in half to get my cat out of it, and it had to die to do that. Like, that sort of chain of processing, I'm hoping it's just not working well, because if it is working well, then this is a very great concern that she thought that that was appropriate to do. Even if we thought Mr. Midnight was in there. That was a mysterious woman. I like the blue rose. I never saw a rose in the ocean. Maybe it's an old story. Maybe the moon gave her the rose because he loves her. And then she often imagines the relationship between things. Like, maybe the moon loves her, or there was something in the other room too. Some of the stuff in the well, where there is like kind of a romanticism to how things are connected. Oh, the baby is on the wall for everyone to see, which I think is relevant because she's obviously feeling like an unloved child at the moment, with her parents being gone and her caretakers thereafter all being quite awful. Their faces look familiar, but I'm not sure. Could it be? Okay. This isn't my cup. The teapot has no tea at all. Sugar in all different colors. Delicious and beautiful. My mouth is watering. I'm so hungry. Nobody will notice if one little cupcake is missing. Take one. Oh, she actually did. That's good. It's actually important that she eats something. Caramel sauce all over it. The cake looks absolutely yummy. I could eat the whole thing. Sweet candy. Chocolate cake. My favorite. Should I? Maybe just a little. Oh, she really is snacking. Can we take a bite of that cake too? Okay, so the cat has left the picture. So chocolate cake and cupcakes, okay. A vase to put some flowers in. It has ashes inside. Okay. Is that a flying pig? I wonder if any friendly animal would like to fly with us. That would be a new experience. Not that I don't have any. What are you talking about? I understand what the deer wanted back in the hospital. It didn't want to get its head fixed. It wanted its head on the wall. Silly me. What? Well, and if I think about what she is actually doing when she says stuff like that, she is trying to make positive assumptions about what's going on. Like, extremely generous positive assumptions. Like, oh, that's why the deer's head fell off. It wanted to go on the wall. Ah, these babies in the well, they must be very comfortable down here. Like, it's, in a way, I think, protecting her from recognizing the cruelness of people and the world, which I don't think is, like, totally inappropriate. Again, she is a child. And maybe it's her way of trying to understand the world as something with an inherent orderliness to it, because she'll say things like, oh, that's why the head fell off. It's supposed to go up on the wall later. The baby's in the well because it's comfortable here. Like, there is a sense of meaning and direction to these things, not just random, chaotic nightmares. And it's natural for her to want that as a child going through the world with, like, not much good meaning to be found where she is. And I've said this before, but yeah, we can have a conversation about whether that's, like, you know, really messed up for her. But I'd rather talk about, in terms of coping, whether what she's doing is effective or ineffective. Right now, it's pretty effective. It's pretty effective for not just being like, wow, I'm a child in a well with dead babies in it. Oh, okay, now what? Now what do you do? If that's your reality. Like, she's not tethered to reality. And also, this is, like, somehow better for her, I think. Why? Because we're going to find a fucking bridge here somewhere and build our way out of that well. And I don't know if we would have the capacity to do that if we were just in the well with the babies. And so, yes, it is effective. It is effective coping mechanism for now. And later we can have a conversation about whether or not her mind is like severely damaged because of what we're seeing. But to humanize her and the process of mental health, I think it's better to start with to keep her sense of personality intact. She makes very positive assumptions about everything that she sees, sometimes to the detriment of those things, where she's like, "Oh, well, I was told by the aunt that my cat was inside this beetle pig, so I had to get it out." And she's not making the connection that she has to do something pretty horrific to do that. And to navigate a world with no presentable opportunities or safety, she has like maybe constructed this reality, or also this effective duotine, or maybe it's just a sort of cosmic plane that we're on. Like, we're not really sure yet, but it is effective for her at helping her move about. Cozy and warm. I could burn things here that I don't need, but you never know when you'll need some things. It's true. Firewood in line to be burned. Okay, I think we've seen everything here. Let's go upstairs. And just to double check, yep. Still in the well, aren't we? Whoa, what? Okay, so that's effectively the stairs. Interesting, okay. What is this? A monster who likes goats. The goat looks angry. I guess he's ticklish or annoyed. Again, very positive assumptions about what's going on in that picture there. A broom to fly away, or just clean up. I knew she was witchy. To take me up, Fran, the flying witch. She is such a witch. The drawer opened. Let me see what's inside. Oh. What is this? 5 black candles to light my way. Geez, we've accumulated quite a fucking hit here, haven't we? The sisters, they look alike. Pink and blue, complete opposites. A red rose and a painting. Okay. Can't reach. Oh, a ladder. Perhaps Mr. Midnight is up there. Perhaps indeed. Let's take a look around first, though. What's super interesting as well is that the game has also just disincentivized me from taking more duotine. Again, so clever. I think this mechanic is so brilliant. The way it keeps challenging your use of it and how that syncs up with Fran. Like, it is inherently less effective now, not just in a sort of meta story way, but literally when I take it, it resets my progress. I actually fall back down the well. I noticed that there's some sort of like secret bottle with a secret inside. I'm very curious right now. What could it be? Yeah, me too. Literally, duotine resets my progress, so now I really don't want to take it. Maybe because the effects are really minimal now. In fact, detrimental. The perfume smells like teenagers. Nice stuff. Very girly. I guess I'll be very girly when I grow up. Tweezers, to pick things up that my little hands can't. Goofy. Oh, it's that monster. And so much blood. Oh, now it's a problem for you, Fran. Now it's scary. I guess I'm not the only one who can see him then. Is he holding a head? I have to be careful. Yes, you do, Fran. But you've got so many sharp objects at your disposal now. You've got a knife, you've got things to light on fire, tweezers, a broom. I mean, we're pretty well defended, to be honest. White candles everywhere. This looks like a very old painting. A mommy holding 2 babies. I wonder as well. Maybe they're the babies in the well. Ugh, these toys are so ugly. I hope they didn't hear me. I don't want them trying to catch me and kill me. Hello, doll. Who caught you? I hope that never happens to me. Oh, yeah, it reminds me a lot of, well, how the kids in the asylum were represented as dolls. And, yeah, I mean, that's probably how she sees herself being captured up by the people there. I guess it doesn't need to happen if I'm clever enough. That's right, Fran. We'll never go back there. Unless it's to break out the other children. I'll lay down and sleep tight when I get back home. Aunt Grace has for sure put some fresh sheets. I love the feeling of my sleepy head on a clean pillow. So whimsical. Ah, water all around. Water makes me feel helpless. And because I can't swim, I'll have to navigate or something. Kitty's really afraid of water too. What's going on up there? I wonder what the deal is with the doll heads and roses. Yeah, this is me too. I guess I'll figure it out someday. Dolls are like hollow humans. Yeah, lifeless and at the complete control of someone else. A mirror, but why isn't my reflection there? Hello? Huh? This mirror isn't doing its job. It has a little keyhole. Maybe it's just decor. Yeah, again, it seems like even the strangeness of things, it does stick out to her. She's like, I wonder what the deal with those heads on the wall are. Like, but then she comes up with a way for it to have some orderliness to it. What's the deal? I guess I'll figure out someday. Like, there's a positive assumption even about herself that if she's curious enough, she will learn the secret. Like, has there been any moment so far where Fran has completely admitted defeat? Like, oh, I can't figure that out. Oh, I can't get past this. I don't think there's been a single one. Even when I try to do stupid shit like combine pots with knives, she says things like, I'm clever enough to find another solution, I think. Like, there has never been a moment so far where she's like, I just can't do it. And how often do we find ourselves saying that kind of stuff? Who was that? Oh, I know. I'm clever enough for this. Let's combine the matches with the candles. Sometimes things don't just... What are you talking about, Fran? Matches and candles are... they're literally made for each other. Am I that stupid that that's not the solution here? Okay. Oh, maybe I can just pull this lamp. I am not clever enough to find... I'm so unclever that I will come up with a more complicated solution than one that is presented without any additional work. What is this? Foxy. Oh no. I wish I could take you out of there. What's their problem? Poor Foxy Fox. Hope someday I find a fox that isn't dead, so I can talk to it. Yeah, so far we've only found 2 dead foxes. A bunny doll. Are you waiting for Easter? Do you lay eggs, or do you steal them from a chicken? And how do eggs become chocolate eggs? That's a great question, Fran. Oh, hello, babies. Who sewed you 2 together? It looks like it hurts. Don't cry, all right? You should smile and be nice. It's time to sleep. Okay. Do we have anything that can help them? No. All right. Yeah, I wonder who sewed them together. Mr. Rat, it's time to get up. I met another rat a while ago. Mr. Rat, are you tired, sir? Huh. A bunch of records. I'm not in the mood for happy music, I guess. Toys in the attic always carry sadness within them. It's very understandable. I wouldn't like to be abandoned in the attic. Me too. That's a big umbrella. A dusty mirror and some other things. I won't put my hands inside the box. There must be like 1,000 spiders in there. A dusty mirror. A lot of tiny stuff. Is that an angel's head? You can find weird stuff in the attic. I like my own dress, but those are pretty too. I guess I don't need them. I hope nobody is behind that mask. Well, we've got something. Just in case. I can't do that. Well, that's the one time that she's said she can't do something. And thank goodness. She won't just let me take the knife to anything. What a pretty doll. I like the hairstyle. Well, but she's never run up against a situation that she was like, I cannot solve my way out of this. like, having to admit defeat. Why are you sitting here? There are lots of dolls to play with. But I wouldn't play with any of them. They look scary. Oh, let's see this. The sisters. What if they're the sisters? Why are they so old? They have the same jacket that I had in the hospital. Yes, they do. Just one hat. A scorpion. Scorpions make me nervous. They walk with their butt in the air, ready to stab you. Maybe it's a zodiac thing. I'm a Sagittarius. Oh, what is this? It's moving. Mr. Midnight, are you here? Kitty. Meow. Oh my goodness, it's you, my beloved friend. I found you. Fran? Is that really you? Oh dear, finally. This feels like a trick. It's me. Come closer, please. Let me see you. Oh, Fran, I'm so happy to see you. It wasn't a trick. It's Mr. Midnight! I missed you very much. I had dreams about you. And here you are. Thank you for not giving up. I love you, my friend. I love you too, Mr. Midnight. And I really missed you. Oh, dear Fran. How did you find this place? Well, Mr. Midnight, I gobbled up every single duotine pill that I could, and I escaped the asylum, and then I chopped a beetle pig in half and knocked over a pine child. And all I had to do was snap his daddy into a little mouse trap, and then I found my way here. For you. After those people took you away into the woods, I tried to follow them. But after a while, I got lost. My senses were too weak to track you. I tried to catch some food to recover, but something happened. Somebody took me, put me in this cage. Oh, I wish none of this had happened to us, Kitty. I'll open this cage. Fran, I'm very tired. I wish all of this was a bad dream. It's gonna be fine. Consoling Mr. Midnight. Everything's going to be fine. We just have to get out of here. Fran, can I ask you something? This is very sweet. I'm afraid that the game is going to somehow make it horrific. Like, this is like the first sweet, positive moment that we've had. And I'm very vulnerable to my feelings towards Fran and this whole scenario by now. Is it going to hurt me for that? Sure, Mr. Midnight, what is it? Did you feel my presence in your dreams? Yeah, I think so. I did. You told me to take the medicine and find you. Medicine, Fran? It wasn't really me talking to you. What? I think somebody was helping us get together. What? Every time I had dreams about you, I felt the presence of something else. Medicine. So, point of clarification. Some people let me know in the comments of the last video that I missed a note in the asylum when Fran was looking at the duotine pills that, like, supposed to be something else, and Fran was being targeted to get some other variant. So this would make sense that, like, someone wanted us on duotine for some reason, and they inserted the alluring voice of Mr. Midnight because of our attachment to him to get us to take it. Really? What kind of presence? From what I felt, it wasn't human. It was really peaceful and kind. Well, whatever it is, it's good. It brought us back together. Fran, did you hear that? Did you? Oh, I'll see what it is. I'll try to find the keys and free you, all right? I love you. Go on, Fran. Please get me out of this cage. Find the key. I really want to hold you tight, my dear Fran. Hope you get this cage open soon. Okay. Just when I felt like I understood what was going on. What happens if I... Okay, I just fall further down. Oh. You scared me. I thought nobody was living here. There you are. We were waiting for you. Where's your head? Huh? My head? My head is in just the right place. It's you, the precious being from the other world. Who would ever believe us? I'm very confused now, ladies. What are you talking about? Fran Bow. That's your name, right? Oh, that made us sad. And your mom and dad died tragically. It was very brutal, right? And now you really want to know who killed them, right? How do you know that? Slow down. How do you know all this? We simply have to know. We are a part of this world. But don't be sad. Bad things happen to all of us, all the time. I wish I was at home with Mommy and Daddy now. Don't wish for things that can't be done. Find solutions and answers. It's starting to sound like Dr. Deer in there. I can't see any solution. That really is the first time that she's said something like this. They won't come back. I mean, I think she knows that. I'm curious about this because she really doesn't say this stuff often. Yes, but the pain I feel is so great. I can't see any solution. Drink some tea and eat some cake. It will make you feel better. Thank you, but I really need to know. Who told you these things about me? Are you scared, little Fran? A little. It's odd the way I came here, and this conversation is making me confused. You haven't asked about your cat yet, Mr. Midnight. That's very odd for a girl who loves her cat more than anything else in this world. Yet you look so calm after finding him in a cage, hungry and scared. Shouldn't it be us trembling in fear of you? I'm not calm. Yeah, we're not. Do you know about the HPA axis, girls? I'm not calm. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm not a rude person. Just very affected by this prejudice. You want him back? Yes. Unlock the cage. I want you to unlock the cage. He's hungry and thirsty, please. Before we set him free, tell us how you came here. It's a long story. I escaped from a place. A very ugly place. They open the heads of children to find out what's wrong with them. Phil told me a secret, and I was clever enough to find the way out. Yes, it was Phil who told us about the office. Then he also shut us in there. And then I came into the woods and met a giant ant. And I killed a bug, and it was terrible. Oh, thank goodness. Here I was thinking she was unaffected by this. Can you mention the baby pine cone as well? I feel like that's... I mean, it's not as bad as chopping the beetle pig in half, but I feel like it's worth mentioning that you... many times through my own instructions, just knocked him right over. And we're quite amused by it, actually. Like, she was at least terrified of what she was doing when she chopped the beetle pig in half, but with the little child, she was like, luckily your mom's coming to get you now. Isn't this fun? Very much like a cat, like, oh, let me just knock this over. Oh, it moved in a funny way. Like, it's like what my cats do when they find a beetle lying around here. Like, they're not concerned for its life in any sort of way. They're just like, wow, it really flies when you smack it. And then I met a rat who wanted to get his hair done. And then I made a door, and that door took me here. No mention of the pine cones. But when I entered the door, something happened. I don't remember anything else. Look at me getting all excited. Oh, and then I saw a pine cone, a real pine cone family. That was before I came here. They live in Mr. Antonio's house. They like berries. Oh, and I saw flying insects that got stuck in trees because they have long hair. That was also in the woods. And now here I am, looking for Mr. Midnight. That was some adventure. How old are you, Fran? I'm 10 years old, but I'm going to turn 11 soon. And you? And this is why I think Fran is so realized as a child in this story. Like, that's something you hear from kids all the time. Like, oh, I'm 7, but I'm going to be 8 soon. Like, it's such a big deal. And I even remember saying this when I was a kid. Like, when other kids would ask me how old I was, I'd be like, I'm 3, but I'm almost 4. Like, I really didn't want to be seen as a 3-year-old because I really felt like I was basically 4 already. And that meant something important. We're 16 years old, much older than you, so you have to obey us. You can't tell me what to do. Open the cage! You don't want to see what's in my coin purse. I don't want to obey you. You can't tell me what to do. You haven't even asked our names. That's not polite. I don't actually give a shit. And you shouldn't wander around someone's house without permission. Are you stupid? A stupid little girl with no family at all. I'm not stupid. And I do have a family. I have Aunt Grace and my kitten. Are you crying? Because if you are, you'll get in trouble. If you don't do exactly as we say, you and your cat will die. I don't like these girls. I think they're very rude. Do you understand? No. You don't scare me. Free my cat. Now. You idiot. You asked for it. If you don't do what we ask, bad things will happen to your cat. We will force you to kill him with your own hands. You're evil. You're evil and poisonous. But I'll do whatever you say. Ooh, poisonous, that's a great insult. Good. Now listen to us carefully. We need you to perform a magic spell on us. Do you like magic? Annie also did magic. Magic is magical. I like this, that she's bringing one of the kids she met back in the asylum into this. Yes, Annie also did magic, but she had no idea how to actually do it. It was a sleeping pill. Anyway, this magic is very powerful and dangerous. Here's the recipe. Be careful and precise. Otherwise, terrible things can happen. Oh, now it's coming together why I have the pot and all the ingredients. Summon the old lost body. Lost in darkness, lost in tears. Your body becomes a lie through the hand of the one angel that decides to bring you sorrow. You will need the heart of a frog, the head of a young virgin, hair and blood from a black cat, a pentagram made of ashes, the burnt body of a fox. This must be cooked all together inside a pot or cauldron with plenty of water. When you are about to drink the potion, repeat these words. Okay, I'm not gonna do that just yet. Do it yourselves? Yeah, it's... Why can't you do it yourselves? We can't do it. It would kill us. You see, we weren't like this before. We used to be 2 different people in 2 different bodies. But why are you like this now? One night a long time ago, something appeared before us. We thought it was an angel, but it wasn't. He decided that we should spend eternity together. He cursed us to be like this. We never understood why. We have a spell to bring him back, but we'll do that later, when we're no longer attached to each other. And show him that he's powerless, and he will regret it. Okay. So that's got to be pretty traumatic for these young girls as well. And perhaps this is also why they're acting this way towards Fran. I mean, it's kind of similar to what we did to the Beetle Pig, no? Like, we were basically willing to do anything to get Mr. Midnight. And these girls, they have a similar agenda for separating themselves. And so they're leveraging their age, maturity, and presumably power to convince or control Fran to do something for them. We don't know if they'd really follow through with it, but it's very not right to manipulate a young kid like Fran like this. And that story also probably explains a little bit of why, some of their reasoning's not all together. Show him that he's powerless, and he will regret it. So many of the trauma stories we've seen in this game are about disempowerment, of being controlled or forced into a situation, and with some stealing or damaging of the identity of a person by someone of a greater authority or strength or something. All the kids with parental abuse, obviously the harsh and inhumane control and oversight in the asylum, and these girls with this angel or whatever it is. Well, that has a profound impact on how a child starts to perceive their own ability to make moves in the world. I think it's a very noble and precious thing about Fran that she does look for those positive assumptions about things. She sort of assumes that there must be an order to the crazy things that she sees, rather than seeing them as disordered and being someone who has to make them orderly by force, which maybe is where the twins are coming from. It's what they've learned, how to leverage power, and that's like wrong. It's wrong that it happened to them, and also it's wrong that they're exerting this same force on Fran. Once again, coming back to this game will require and deserves some nuance to understand the human experience. We're not going to get out of this by saying, like Fran, oh yes, they're evil and poisonous, and that's just all there is to them. We're also not going to get out of this by saying we have to forgive them because their trauma explains why they're doing this. It's going to have to live somewhere in between. But you can see how important this is to them. The power that this angel thing had over them, it's changed their lives in an irreversible way. And like Fran, they want some vindication to that, like she does with her parents. That sounds terrible. I'll try my best to help you. I'm going to gather some things you'll need for the ritual. And because you've been a very nutty girl, you won't even be able to talk to your cat. You'll have to wait until we come back. Please, let me talk to him. Let me give him some food. No, you can't. And Fran, do you see this key? Can you imagine what can be opened with it? Can you, you silly, silly girl? Well, I don't care what you've been through. I'm getting my cat. Actually, Fran, I think Fran is willing to empathize a little bit, even if they are the antagonists right now. Okay, well, what the fuck? So, I don't have the heart of a frog. I don't have the head of a young virgin. I guess the hair and blood from a black cat could come from Mr. Midnight, but I don't like thinking of how we'll get them. We have ashes. The burned body of a fox. What do I click on first? Hello? Who are you? Can't you hear me? I'm Fran. Oh my goodness, the smell. Poor girl. Who could have done this? And why? I need to be careful and protect myself and my kitty. It's not a great sight for Fran to see. In general, but especially given what she's been through. Why is it just here? Jance, The Blueberry Tree, Volume 2. Antonio the Greatest. Oh, it's him. Wait a minute, it's that big ant from the woods. Could be him, only a bit younger. Jance. I think I saw this name earlier. Okay, so he's famous. A record player. I wonder if it works. Let's see. Okay. So odd. Why do they have Mr. Midnight on the wall? Many tiny paintings, and there's a cat. When I grow up, I'll have lots of cat paintings on my walls. And other things, too. But I'm not a grown-up yet. Burning candles. There are many books and things on the shelf. So many that it makes me dizzy. I'll just leave them here. Owls and cats are a bit alike. Both are curious, both like to kill mice, and both are good companions of witches. Oh, she's so precious. I love that that's what she's thinking about. Oh, a typewriter, and it works. I guess I could write something, but there isn't any paper. And a good writer has to know what to write about first. I can't see anything but water. Where is this place? I hope Mr. Midnight knows how to get out of here. Okay. What about this? Does this do anything? No. Damn it, I missed the pathway opening effects of Duotine. It's now gotten me... I'm chasing that high. And now I'm getting frustrated that my duotine has stopped working. I mean, I have plenty of it, but man, it just doesn't hit like it used to. It's literally doing nothing for me here. Sucks. I hate it here. I did love what Fran said earlier about not being calm. In fact, that's one of the things about the whole HPA axis that I was talking about. Being calm is not necessarily the same as having a regulated nervous system at this exact moment. Like, they are related. Your nervous system that regulates whether your heart is pumping fast and whether you have like the high alertness of the fight or flight and that sort of thing. And the HPA axis, like, kind of producing stress, but they're not fundamentally the same. Like, you can be calm right now and have dysregulated axis because the way it produces cortisol and stress is not functioning correctly. To find another way out. Okay, so this is not the solution. Now, there's a lot of people who asked a very good question, which is like, okay, if I have a dysregulated axis and the environment is highly influential to that, what besides changing my environment could I do? Like, if I am like Fran in a spooky asylum where I'm unsafe and there's no good caretakers and all this stuff, like, is there anything that she can do to help stabilize? Or if you live at home and home's not a safe place for you, or whatever the situation is. So yes, there are definitely things that you can do. There are the sort of classic standard regulation things that anyone would recommend, like breathing and grounding and the kind of stuff that does get in touch with the parasympathetic nervous system. But this is also where I come back to the idea of SRRs and GRRs, which are those specific resistance resources that someone like Fran and everyone has to make a situation more manageable. And potentially those could turn into general resistance resources where they're used in many different contexts. When I talked about the client who puts their sunglasses down and they suddenly have less social anxiety, that is not just a psychological change happening. You can bet that as their sunglasses go down, there is a measurable reduction in physiological and neurological tension. Why? Because covering their eyes makes them feel less perceived, less kind of in the limelight to other people. They feel a little more invisible, and that is actually regulating the axis and the person. And the reason that that's amazing is because that is a specific thing to that person that works for them. And it's highly personalized. Like, I can tell you, anyone can tell you, yes, you have to deep breathe when you're tense, and like, sure, but that's everyone. We've all got the same equipment. It's of great benefit to discover what someone's specific resistance resources are because they're highly personalized. When that person puts their sunglasses down on their eyes, they feel better in those situations. Maybe that's not going to work for me. Maybe it works for a large variety of people, but the fact is that you discover it specifically works for them, and that's a much more accessible and personal thing than just, oh yeah, you need to do some box breathing, and like, anyone can do that. And so it can even feel dismissive for me to say, yes, like, here's the 5 to 10 standard regulation exercises that you should do. Well, instead, let's look for ones that you already possess that are effective, or if you don't have many, like, work on developing some, and then work on building them to be more robust and generalized so that they work in many different contexts. And over time, however the environment is, you can start to repair the axis and all the other stuff that's going on. So yeah, you can change that even if the environment doesn't change. When the person puts their sunglasses on, the environment doesn't change. There's still as many people, it's still as scary. What's changed is them. What's changed is something that they've done that has a measurable reduction in tension for them. Small, but enough for them to manage the situation. Like, it's not going to repair their whole HPA axis in just that moment. But the more of these SRRs that you discover, and the more that you learn to use them in many different contexts, you are incrementally showing your body that you know how to restore it to a baseline. And so for another example, let's look at what Fran does, okay? Like I was saying, she very rarely, only once so far, has come to a point where she says, I don't know if there's a solution. But every time we've been in a new situation, what does Fran do? That's how you discover an SRR. Well, the first thing that we do as a player, which is what Fran does, is we take a look at our surroundings. We try to orient ourselves in the physical space, and we take notice of what we can put to use. If Fran was at a 10 of stress in a new place, this probably brings her down to a 9. Why? Because it's helping her organize what she is able to do. So she takes note of her surroundings. She interacts with everything conceivable and pockets whatever might have some use. She then, as a function of us, the player, tries to see if there's anything that she can combine things with, right? Sometimes to no avail, to again consolidate her options. Like right now she has way too many choices, but if she combines things, it helps us narrow down. Like I wasn't sure what the hook could do until we put it together with 2 or 3 things, and now a pathway becomes clear. So the things that Fran does is she orients herself to her surroundings. She takes an inventory of what might be useful. She tries to consolidate her options, and then to not freak the fuck out at some of the horrific imagery, she makes very gracious, positive assumptions about how things got to where they are. The deer's head just wanted to be on the wall. The babies wanted to be comfortable in the well. The scary doll faces in the corner must be there for some reason. Like that's a little more strange compared to like looking around and consolidating. Like that's, yeah, we might try that as well. But that is something that Fran is doing to make sense of things and for it to not scare her to death. She also does a lot of personification when she's looking at, I don't know, creatures and things. It's him again, but I haven't taken my pills. We'll come back to that. Well, he opened the window. Thank you. But who is he? You know, whenever she interacts with an animal, she's usually like talking about, yeah, oh, it must be going somewhere, or it must be happy, or there must be some reason that she's doing it. Like these are emotional protections. And I think that that is partially why she is able to stay somewhat grounded, even amongst horrific imagery and in strange and confusing environments. She's not calm, but it is a function of regulation to do those things. Having SRRs are measurable reductions in your confusion or distress in a place where you might not be able to control the environment, but you can control some aspect of your understanding of it or your ability to move through it. And a big part of that is making sure that as you're exploring a person's specific resistance resources, you're using that language of, how does this make the situation more manageable? We want someone like Fran to be able to say, well, this, coming into this situation, I'm at a 9 in terms of like, you know, heightened stress. And what are the things that you do to bring yourself down? And where does it put you? Well, I orient myself to the environment. I take note of what I can use. I consolidate my options. I try to find some emotional connection with what's going on and make sense of it. And all of those things bring me from a 9 to a 6. Okay, so these are just sort of stand-ins for like knowing exactly how much this has regulated her, but it's very powerful to be able to say that. Because you're getting the ability to identify your own emotional and physical state for free. To be able to say, oh, I know what it feels like to be at a 9. It feels like way up here. And I can tell after I do these 3 or 4 things, I'm at a 6. I'm not at a 0. I'm not calm, but it's manageable enough for me to like move around and do stuff. So you really get a kind of mindfulness to a person detecting what's going on with them for free by doing that. And it's much more personalized. A 9 for you is not a 9 for me. The things that put me at a 9 are not the same for everyone. And this approach I have found to be much more effective than just giving someone like the standard list of, you got to breathe through the stress, or you got to do these grounding techniques, or you got to be more mindfulness, right? Okay, but those aren't personalized. The things that Fran specifically does, the things that my client specifically did with the glasses to make that environment more manageable and to manage themselves, they become a toolkit of personal resources that you can then expand to other things, right? Like I said, we'll get to that later on. And you'll notice throughout all of this, I have not described any kind of cognitive or emotionally focused work. There's no restructuring of thoughts like there is with cognitive behavioral therapy. There's no going home and making a thought record. There's no deconstructing cognitive distortions and trying to come to more rational perspectives about things. There's no radical acceptance. And there is no exposing someone to challenging emotions to make them more tolerant of them, which I think is a kind of wrong assumption to say, oh, well, if this environment makes you feel sad or upset, then we just need to make you more tolerant to that sadness because you can't do anything in the environment. Like, what? Why would you ever assume there is nothing that you can do? And why would you make the assumption that the only thing you can do is just sort of change your thoughts or experience of it? Nowhere in the process I've described do you have to use cognitive behavioral therapy or mindfulness or any of that cognitive or emotional stuff. Like I said, those have their own benefit and value as well, I think later in the process. Because when we are ready to engage with the thoughts and emotions and behaviors, I want to have already discovered a couple of these with the person so that that process is informed by known strengths that we've already seen are useful. And what I've also seen is that as you go through this process, it tends to develop a level of esteem and confidence in the person. And they tend to get excited about discovering like, wow, I actually didn't realize how effective this thing I do is. And I really want to explore and be curious about where else I could use it. Like, it is a profoundly healing thing to learn something good about yourself, especially if it's a quality you already had. Like, it's not something new you're learning. You're learning to strengthen it and adapt it. So much therapy looks at a person and says, okay, here's their weakest, here's their strongest. Let's focus on where they're weakest and then try to add things to that. Like, oh, you really struggle with this cognitive distortion. You maximize all your issues, you minimize all your successes, and you always fall back on all or nothing thinking and struggle to find nuance in your situation. Like, the whole focus is on, let's look at where this person is the weakest and then try to find additives to work on that. Well, that could be a very confusing process and frustrating to try to develop yourself from a point of weakness. This looks at, where is this person the strongest? What are they doing that measurably causes them to have real physiological and psychological control over their issues? And can we also explore ways to bring that downstream to places where this person struggles? Like, we are starting from a different end of the spectrum here in terms of like, how could I help this person? Do I want to first psychoanalyze all the things that are wrong with them and all their weaknesses and then try to sort of like plug in boilerplate coping skills? Or do I want to start with the assumption that this person is already quite capable of certain things, start from that point of strength, and then see if we can adapt that to areas in need of more development? And you don't need to re-traumatize people, and you don't need them to write their thoughts down in a journal and rationalize them. You can do all that stuff later, but I just think that that's harder to do for a person coming into the process of therapy not feeling like they have any control over what's going on in their life or themselves. Like, the first thing that you should be doing is establishing this person has a sense of control that they are maybe not aware of. And can we expand on it? Like, it's not a very pleasant feeling to sit down with a professional and them to start telling you everything that's wrong with you. I have found that it's much better to help them identify things that work really well and then expand them to areas that don't work well. So all of that is to say that yes, you absolutely can work on stabilizing yourself, even if your environment is unstable. It means exploring what resources you have that cause measurable stability and then trying to expand on those. And in that process, you're strengthening existing neurosynaptic connections between effective behaviors and the positive reactions you get from them, instead of trying to develop entirely new ones with completely foreign processes and behaviors. So it's not exactly simple, but in some ways it kind of is as well. It's looking at what works and expanding from there instead of looking at what doesn't work and trying to bolt on entirely new things to make it better. Okay, now we've seen this guy a couple of times. This guy right here. I'm assuming that that's him. We saw him when we first left our room at the asylum, and then we saw his arm. Someone let me know that his arm came out and opened the vent for Fran when we were escaping. And now we've seen him here. Maybe he's the guy who's influencing the whole duotine situation. Because if it wasn't Mr. Midnight, then this guy seems to be helping us in some way, but to what end? I mean, it's great that he wants me to be with my kitty. I love him for that. But, you know, I'm not a very trusting individual at the moment. I don't have a lot of evidence that people want to help me out of the good graciousness of their own hearts. And so I'm a little suspicious right now of his intentions. He does seem to be clearing the way for me in some respects, but I don't know why. There's a toad. What did I need from a toad again? The heart. The heart of the frog. Hopefully it's just something fantastical and he just gives me like a cute little heart locket. That would be nice. A rusty old bicycle in the middle of an island. I don't think it would take me very far. There's nothing but water around this house. This is the house in the painting. A big rock. I'll leave it there. It's so amusing the way she talks about stuff like that. Like, imagine I just came up to a place that was not my own and I just commented like, oh, there's a door there. I'll leave it closed. Like, yes, of course, I had no business with the door to begin with. But I love that she just makes a comment anyways. Everything in her environment is of some potential to her. Pink roses. Ow! I pricked my little finger. Bad roses. A long wooden plank. I could do something with it. Yes, it's probably true. Moonlight on the water. You're so beautiful and calm. I always feel like the moon is following me. I wonder if the moonlight does the same job as sunlight. Alright, let's check out this frog. Hey, you. Yes? Who's speaking? Me. I'm a toad. I have to tell you something. Yes? What is it? You are in great danger. Don't trust the girls. Well, I don't. Why do you say that, though? Look, girl. I'm a toad, and I know I can swim away from this place. But they won't let me. Every time I try to get out of here, I magically return. This house is like a huge magnet. A toad and cat magnet. They love us, but not to give us love. Oh. Just to use us. Don't trust them. I won't! I promise. They gave you a recipe for some kind of magic, right? Yes. Yes, they did. Did you see the dead girl in one of the rooms? Yes. Well, that could be you if you try to do it. She tried, but she did it wrong. But what should I do then? I'm not a clever toad, but if I were you, I would be creative. Huh. Creative. I'll try my best. And girl, please save us all. I really want to get out of here. Okay. Can he give us any more tips? I'm mentally stuck. I don't know what to do. I know you have something that lets you see see things others can't. How do you know that? I'm a talking toad. Is that normal? I don't think so. But you can talk to me. That makes you special. It's logical. You know what? Yeah, you're right. But what about the things I can see then? Have you seen everything? Maybe you're missing some messages. I'll see what I can find. You know, he said he's not a clever toad, but I don't believe him. I actually find him to be quite clever. Okay. So let's, as a community, see what it is like to be Fran stuck with a problem to solve. What is her process? Her SRR, okay, is, and this is why it's important that you learn to identify it and then eventually also name it. Like, you want to give these names. Like, I had another client who we found an SRR that really was more of a general resource because it was about their process of reflection. And it was a little loose at the beginning. It was just sort of like I sit down and I write down my thoughts and reflect on them. But then we expanded this to say, okay, well, is there a specific place that you do this? Is there a certain kind of notebook? And the more that you develop that, it's like, okay, now the process is I go to this place in my house or whatever, I get a notebook out, I get a pen. You break down every sequence so that the resource is very clearly defined. And once it was assembled as like, okay, that is my process that makes me feel like whatever thing I'm reflecting about is more manageable to me, and name it. And this client called it Magic Mirror. Magic Mirror was now the name, the consolidated name for that process. And now you can call upon it at any moment. The dialogue in the therapy sessions became, do you think that you could use the Magic Mirror here? Oh, yes, I think that that process might really help. Well, here's how I might implement it, right? Like, it literally becomes part of your skill book because we discovered it, personalized it, really analyzed why it was effective, and then packaged it up and named it something. So Fran comes into my office. We've been working together for a while. She's feeling stumped. Instead of what were you thinking about at the time that this occurred and what emotions came up for you, like, just forget all that for right now. I'm actually going to go and say, remember those times where you really needed to figure out where you were going? You used this skill. And we would know that process. We look around, we consolidate, we do all the stuff we've been talking about. And maybe she would call it something like midnight magic because it's like what we used. We developed this skill in the pursuit of Mr. Midnight. And so now we have a shorthand. And as she comes into the session and she says, I'm stuck, I would say, let's use midnight magic, like to orient the person to their own skill and work from there rather than trying to like engage with the thoughts and emotions and sort of abstract stuff that they're feeling. Like, I'd rather rely on a known, proven, personalized, and evidence-based process that the person is excited to use to move forward. And through all that, you start to see that like therapy sessions not only should fundamentally make a person feel better and more capable, because you're finding out all these resources that you actually have and developing them further, but it's also way more fun. Like, it's fun to come up with these things. And I've heard a lot of silly names, you know, people coming up with stuff like, that's my spirit bomb, like, because they were interested in Dragon Ball. And like, you know, we discovered that going around and talking to the trusted people in their lives made them feel like they had more strength to deal with things. And so like, right, great, that's the SRR, like, let's call it something fun. Okay, spirit bomb. Collecting the energy from, if you don't know Dragon Ball Z, they collect energy from everyone in the universe to like throw this big attack. And like, it's silly and it's fun. And the person will also remember to use it. And gosh, it's just so much better than like sending someone home with a fucking notebook and saying, write down your scary thoughts and come back and I'll tell you why you're dumb for having them. Okay, well, let's use midnight magic here to figure out what to do. Because I am much more clever than those stupid girls, and I can find out a solution. First, let's take an inventory of what it's asking us to do. I need these things. Okay, we're supposed to make the potion and we're supposed to drink it. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is go back and see if there's anything I didn't interact with. Okay, that's the first step in Midnight Magic, this skill. Is there anything that we missed or that we first overlooked that we might now have some purpose for? Okay, that's probably, maybe we can fill the pot with water. Okay, that's good. I knew that. And then I'm going to start doing as Fran does, consolidating my resources, figuring out what I can combine with what. Let's first see if anything combines with the pot. Most things, probably not, right? Make sure that we didn't miss anything over here. Don't think that there was anything to interact with. So once we know that we have everything that we can use, then we will try to consolidate our resources. As you talk with people, you start to realize that not only do people already have lots of skills that they just don't really know that they have, but once you start to operationalize them, it becomes so automatic. It's like, okay, Fran, well, what should you do next? Well, she already knows that she has to start combining everything together. I probably don't even have to remind her that that's part of the process. Like, and it's such a fun part of it too, when someone's like, oh, and then I can do this, right? Like, maybe I should also go upstairs. That's another environment that we can revisit. Although I don't think that they're gonna let me go in the attic. Yeah, they locked it. Something needs to happen to make all these food items combine. Maybe we have to use them like on the stove or something. Okay, let's put the pot on the stove. Forgot to turn on the fire. So, matches. It's quite windy in here. Okay, close the window. Fire. So you can see, like, I know this is simple in principle. Like, it's someone figuring out what to do. But consider that in a moment of distress, it's very hard to access your executive functioning and problem solve your way through things. If you had, prior to being in a new, strange, uncertain situation, knowledge of your SRRs, and you named them, and you had a couple of them, and you had Magic Mirror and Midnight Magic and Spirit Bomb and Anchors Away was another one someone named, like the process of getting rid of things that were overburdening them, whether that be like stuff or people in their lives. Like, you have those skills and you can say, okay, it's hard for me to problem solve, but I already know this process. What do I need to do? I need to sit down and take inventory. Okay, what do I have at my disposal? It's so much easier to access a single term, shorthand for a skill, than try to, like, every single time you're in a new situation, figure out what to do. Okay, so the pot is on the stove. Now, what goes in the pot? Maybe this thing. Moonlight seed. I'm not sure if this is good in a soup. Should find a recipe. Okay. Baking soda? No. Salt and pepper? No. What's left to do? Some ingredients are missing. Well, the heart of a frog. I really don't want to imagine that this is what it wants me to do. Thank fucking God it's not. I just had to make sure. Didn't want me to cut the frog open for its heart. But is there a substitute, a heart of a frog? Moonlight seed. Maybe we can, like, plant that in the moonlight somewhere. A rock. Or moonlight reflection. No way. Wow, this really is a nice blue rose. Midnight magic fucking works! Okay. I'm gonna use the midnight rose. Black candles. Plank. Does it go in the pot, maybe? No. Maybe in the vase. No. Tweezers. How do I get the ashes out of the vase? And what is the broom for? Is there something to sweep up? Can I just smash it on the ground? Pile of ash. I'm supposed to turn it into a pentagram, but I'm not really supposed to follow that recipe as instructed. What's left to do? Maybe something to do with the rock? Can I smash something on the rock? can't do that. I have a lot of stuff related to pastries, but I don't think there was anything I could pick up on the table. I mean, I ate some of the pastries, but is there anything that I can, like, now take? This has a picture of a blue rose. We already got the blue rose from the moonlight. I'm just wondering if there's any info hidden in the area here. Can I do anything with the fire? Ashes and... I don't know, Fran. I'm just trying stuff. And maybe I'm supposed to pop some duotine at this point. I mean, I have all this stuff. Oh, maybe the plank I have is good enough as a bridge. And then I can get that secret bottle. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, boy! Let's go, Fran! Okay, and then I can cut this, of course. Too easy. Okay, let's go back down. Time to jump. What's in that secret bottle? Hey! Oh. What? That was a very quick end for that frog. Can't touch the bottle. It really burns. Maybe it's bewitched, so nobody touches it. What should I do now? I'm so curious. I hate that. I hate for Fran that sometimes she gets so curious that she's just bursting with this curiosity and she can't do anything with it. There's no fire. Can I burn the frog? Can I use tweezers? Yes! This is so exciting. I agree. This is literally therapy. This is how therapy goes. When you have skills that you identify and use, and you find that they actually work. This is so much more exciting than, did I cognitively restructure my thoughts so as to be more rational in my mind? What? I've been shitting so much on cognitive behavioral therapy this series. I use cognitive behavioral therapy. I like it as a supplement to what I'm talking about here. Hopefully you can see that, like, doing the process of cognitive behavioral therapy, like the restructuring and, you know, that typical stuff, it can become a part of a SRR or a GRR. But also, there's so much more out there for you than just trying to muscle yourself into thinking differently about your situations and reframing bad stuff into good stuff. There's way more. Let's use the good recipe, or inspect it. Revealing the true soul. The world hides from the truth from you. Work your soul through life, and you will understand the purpose of this act. If you try to corrupt this essence, your soul will be hidden and never see the face of truth. To destroy an impure soul, or give freedom to those who are trapped, you will need blood from the executor of the ritual. 5 black candles. Oh, this is even telling me what I already have. Salt and pepper. Hair from the person you want to bewitch. Draw a pentagram with the ashes inside the black and white square. Put a lighted black candle on every point of the pentagram. Fill the cauldron with water. Okay. So, like, we're basically almost there. Ah, thank goodness. And finally, duotine has served its purpose once more. Part of my SRR as Fran is, well, when I run out of options, I pop a couple duotines, scare myself a little bit, and then I find new ways to explore and get shit done. So it's not particularly good when duotine is a part of the SRR. And this does happen as you discover people's assets and resources. They might say, well, you know, sometimes I drink and that's the only way for me to feel this, and then I can get this done. It's like, okay, that's fine. You're still trying to discover what makes this person more effective in their life, and then looking at that SRR and saying, do we like everything in the process? Maybe we don't want to rely so much on popping red scary pills all the time. Can we explore alternatives to that? And so you refine the resistance resource until it is something that's also healthy for you. Okay. Now we have the rest of this good thing. Blood from the executor of the ritual. So that's my own blood. I guess, I have to, yeah. Unfortunately, I knew that was coming. Oh, I got a bloody knife. And hair from the person to bewitch. Who are we bewitching? The girls? How do we get their hair? Maybe from the teacup. Or no. This is their room. There's gotta be hair lying around on here somewhere. How do I get hair? The broom. We gotta sweep up the hair somehow. Okay, but where would the hair be? I mean, this is curious. I'm very curious about this. Black and white paint. I mean, I think I already tried to sweep this. To destroy an impure soul or give freedom to those who are trapped. Maybe we can free them from each other instead of destroying them. How do I get there? How do I get those fucking girls' hair? Maybe the broom is not the key. She doesn't talk about it sweeping. She talks about it flying away on it. Baking powder. Salt and pepper. We know that's for the ritual. So is this. Ticket. Bloody knife. My thought would be I have to extract their hair from like something they've touched, like this teapot. I don't know. I know you're clever enough to find another solution, Fran, but I'm not, really. I don't have anything that can collect hair. Is it possible that I'm supposed to get the hair from somewhere around here? Let's try the broom. No, I can't do that. Okay. Does the frog have any advice? I'm almost there, Frogman. Did you find a solution? I'm stuck. See other things other people can't. I know that already. Well, maybe I can just make the pentagram. Okay. Very nicely done, Fran. I agree. Okay, let's put the candles there. Let's light them up now. Okay, we're getting there. What else? Midnight Rose. Okay. What? Oh, that goes in the pot, not on the pentagram. Okay. Goodbye, goodbye, blue rose. Into the pot now. Okay, salt and pepper. What do I do with baking soda? It doesn't go in here, does it? No. I feel like I'm totally missing something. Wait a second. What happens if I stand up here and take duotine? Does it put me in the attic? Shit! I thought that was gonna fucking do it. I feel like it kind of should. If I go up high, it should take me upstairs. So that doesn't work. But what if I take duotine out here? Whoa, okay, wait a second. Why does that work? Doubters need the truth on paper. Get wrecked, doubters. Okay. My sister's trying to catch me, but I ran away. I'm scared. Would you help me? I have a monster inside my head. Is she like one of the sisters? Can I sweep her hair? Would you help me? But I don't... I guess some people believe when it's written down. But what does it mean? Who wrote this? I have papers, yes, but what truth? What happens if I, like, show her the recipe? Nothing. Can I give her the crayon? No. Can I give her this recipe? No. Does she want the knife? Negative. Baking soda? No. What does she want then? Doubters need the truth on paper. I don't have any papers besides this. I don't have any papers, Fran. Any books? Can I take some paper from there? Typewriter. There isn't any paper. I don't have any paper! Unless this counts. What? That doesn't make any sense. I'm just typing on the recipe? I mean, look, if she's figuring it out, that's why I said she's much more clever than I am. She's like, this is obvious, where I'm just like, I just have to click on everything. Hair from your head. Oh, she is actually so clever. She's gonna draw them out somehow like that. And then we can get their hair. Okay, well, so how do I let them know? Oh, okay, there they are. Fran, here are the materials you'll need. Have you studied the ritual? Yes, but I need more time. I can't remember all the words. Well, learn them fast. Let us know when you're ready. Wait! Come back! Psst, girl, I think you need help getting rid of that bag, and I can do it for you. But I may need it. No, you don't. Trust me. If we want to get out of here, that bag must disappear. Probably has a head in it. I'll take it. You didn't see me. Bye. Okay, Mr. Frog. Fair enough. Okay, I need those girls to give me their hair now. Look at this. What do you think of that? Look, ladies, there's something missing. I couldn't find your hair in the bag. Hair, you say? No hair is needed. We know that. But look for yourself. It's written down there in the recipe. That's true. How could we miss that? All right. Wow. Wow. Oh, she's got him. There. Now get prepared. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Oh, she is so mischievous. Oh, you're so fucked. Oh, okay. Well, friends. That's everything in there. Now, I hate to end it here on a cliffhanger, but this episode has gotten quite long. So I will leave it as a hook for the next episode. Which is probably where we get out of this place. Once again, I adore this game for the path on which it is taking us and how it allows us to talk about this part of psychology. Which is my favorite part, really, the discovery of assets. Think about your own life, okay? You're already doing so many amazing things. And see what would happen if you took the time to, like, really understand why those things work. As small as they are. Don't take for granted that the process is obvious, like getting out a notebook and writing in it, okay? Like, yeah, duh. That's what that is. But try to understand why as a process connected to other things that you do and the greater meaning of them in your life. Why do they work? As you learn to operationalize and name those things, you learn that you have innate, repeatable, and expandable skills to solve many problems in life. Not all of them, of course, but they certainly can make life more manageable. So that is where we will end things for now. As always, thank you so much for watching. Be good to yourselves, and I will see you next time.